going on YouTube? So today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Brand New Day. And to start off, I give it about an 8.5 out of 10. Um, I thought that the first two acts of the movie, absolutely fantastic. But the ending, I feel like, kind of was flat compared to the rest of the movie. I thought the action in the first two parts and then up until like the end of that Hulk fight was just absolute cinema. Like the cinematography and everything was just outstanding. And then after that Hulk fight ended, I felt that was where the drop off was. So getting into it, I'd say my quips, the things that I didn't really like about the movie, which are a bit nitpicky, but say no Daily Bugle. I feel like the Daily Bugle is a huge part of Spider-Man's story, and the fact that he just didn't have a job at all, whether it be doing pizza delivery, taking photos, or working as a part-time scientist. I just thought that was how does he afford all this? I just couldn't stop thinking of that the whole time. I thought a training arc, like a small training arc of him actually learning how to use his new powers instead of him just miraculously like getting a grip on it at the end. I wasn't a huge fan of that. No symbiote hint or reveal or anything for Secret Wars. Maybe if he's in Doomsday, then they'll do that. But I thought that with Frank shooting him and all, was a perfect chance to do that. I felt that the Scorpion fights were a little too short. Like they kind of hyped him up to be the main Spider-Man villain of the movie, and he didn't really, he really wasn't in it much, which none of Spider-Man's actual villains were really in it, other than I guess Punisher, if you consider him a villain since he started out as Spider-Man villain. But the Hulk fight was another one that I felt it started off great, but they didn't really get to the second part of the fight. I felt like him being like, "Hey, it's Peter." Like, dude, what? That shouldn't just make, because if you remember, Natasha was the only one who could snap him out of it. Now Peter Parker can. I don't know. Nitpicky, like I said. And then with the Jean Grey stuff, no Uncle Ben mentioned, none of that. I thought that it would have been perfect if they mentioned Uncle Ben, or if they just had Aunt May deliver the line, or even Peter deliver the line, "With great power comes great responsibility." I thought that whole monologue at the end there and the whole um, kind of mental health scene with Aunt May would have been perfect to have "With great power comes great responsibility" line. I was just kind of flabbergasted, like, how do you not incorporate that? But anywho, my last thing is that there was no Charles, no foreshadow to Charles, none of that. I thought it would have been perfect if they incorporated like a bald guy sitting next to Jean on the bus saying, "Hello, Jean. My name is Charles Xavier," or something like that. I felt like that was perfect, and like that, this movie where they're setting it up, it would have just been a absolutely perfect scene to have. But that was that. Those are my quips. Now, getting into what I really liked about the movie. First of all, the Punisher. He was the start of the show. He was hands down my favorite part of the movie. I thought John Berthal did a hell of a job, kind of carrying him over into a PG-13 setting. Um, I thought the first two parts of the movie were fantastic. That montage in the beginning, Peter going through the metamorphosis and him kind of struggling with that. I thought Ned and MJ, who I have not been that big of fans of in the last three movies, I thought they were amazing in this movie, and I thought them sticking to their guns was fantastic. How MJ just was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't remember you. I don't know you, so I'm sorry." Like, I thought that was perfect. And then in the end, when Ned didn't remember Peter, but like he knew who he was after they did the handshake. You know what I mean? That was perfect. Like how MJ said, "Good luck, Peter," prior, and Ned was like, "Peter, that's his name." And then they did the handshake. He's like, "Oh, you're Peter. Oh, that's how we clicked so well." It's because you know. Anywho, I digress. I thought Sadie Sink was really good as Jean Grey, although I wasn't a huge fan of them basically making Jean Grey and William Metzger, who's a X-Men villain, the main villains of the movie. Um, I thought she killed it. She's gonna do great in the new X-Men movies, which I'm super pumped for. Um, Trying to think, what else do I want to mention? Oh, the action, the swings, all that, like the filming and cinematography of it was just absolutely impeccable. Like, I think we can all agree that's by far the best part of this movie. Quick final edit. I also wanted to mention that I actually did like the fact that they basically made the reason why the government and whatnot are able to create this power suppressing collar for the X-Men that they'll probably use in the future is actually because Peter Parker made it. I think that's hilarious, and that's a great little add to the movie. So I just wanted to add that in as another thing that I enjoyed about it. But those are kind of my thoughts, you know, thoughts, feelings, things that I came out of the theater thinking. So if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If not, and if I missed anything, let me know as well. I appreciate you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day.